Hello everybody, this is Zafra Lodani and today I'm going to talk about the professional development in SEC. We will start with an introduction about the SEC and first Qatar and then SEC. We know that Qatar is one of the world's highest per capita income countries today, and it has very unique status because of its oil and natural reserves and its bold leadership. In recent years, Qatar showed a rapid development and progress in all fields and sectors. And of course, education was one of most, if it's not one of the most important fields. The Supreme Education Council came into existence in 2002. It has brought drastic changes in education system, and it was designed to be the main education policy making body in Qatar. The SEC consists of two main institutes, the Education Institute and the Evaluation Institute. Each one of them would house four offices, and we will be focused on one part, which is the Education Institutes that contain our topic, which is the Professional Development Office. So, Education Institute has four main offices, which are Independent Schools Office, Finance Office, Curriculum Standards Office, and Professional Development Office. So, as it is obviously, Development Office will focus on professional development for teachers only, and in all sectors. I mean, in human development, in teaching development, instructional, everything. Let's start with a literature review before we start our topic. And my literature review was focused in USA. When the education system reform took place, the professional development for teachers was in the top list of the reform agenda. So in 2009, the federal government declared the priorities in the teacher professional strategies and increasing teacher and principal effectiveness and achieving equity in their distribution among schools. Turning around our lowest achieving schools, that was their goal in the strategies planning, and they realized that it's important for the professional development to be intensive, embedded in teachers, and sustained over time to get a significant impact on teaching and on students' learning. So, as in any new reform, there is good and bad sides, or negative and positive points. So the good one, or the good news, is that over the last decade there appears to have been some development in improving access to induction supports, including mentorship programs for beginning teacher, as well as a small increase in participation rates in content-focused professional development. The bad news is that the progress in sustained professional development isn't that big around content, and there was also a drop in the strength of professional development on topics such as classroom management, reading instruction, and uses of technology for institutes. So, the National Staff Development Council came up with a new definition of professional development, which is the term professional development means a comprehensive, sustained, and intensive approach to improving teacher and principals' effectiveness in raising students' achievements. A professional development fosters collective responsibility for improved students' performance and must be comprised of professional learning, rather than investing in a project and disconnected professional development workshops on the topics that matter most for improved student achievement. Now, let's start with our discussion. The research studies about teacher professional development and SEC in independent schools only. In-depth review on effective professional development. The methodology that was used in this research was a questionnaire of 5 questions and distributed among different teachers from different schools, primary, secondary, and high school teachers. And it was in Arabic, obviously, because teachers in independent school prefer work in Arabic. And 26 teachers completed this questionnaire. Also, I held 2 interviews with primary teachers and secondary teachers, um, and I ended up with findings and that reported here are based on data from the questionnaire, which were given to teachers to ask whether they had benefits from the programs or not. And the questionnaire covered 5 questions mainly, which are following. Also, this is the link that can get you to the questionnaire. The questions, here is a snapshot of the first page. It's called التطوير المهني في المجلس الأعلى Professional Development in SEC, and we see the total response is 26 and it's closed already. The questions are: does the SEC evaluate the impact of the professional development program that they went through previous years or not? Second, are the PD programs are specific in its nature? As an example, science teachers should go under intensive scientific courses and workshops to help them to developing their skills and knowledge in this field, and keep updated and be aware of what is the best practices apply to help the students to better achievement. And the PD third is the PD programs and strategies sustainable and mechanism the efforts they spend and matching the efforts they spend in the practicing school time, and are they effective? Third, does the policies and strategies related to professional development and instructional improvement help to achieve the goals and improve the teacher's performance and agenda? Finally, it was an open one question. Give the teachers the chance to elaborate more on this topic, which is there anything needed to be considered by the SEC that is not existing in the policies and strategies? I came up with many findings that from the answers that I get in this questionnaire, but I'll be focusing on 5 findings only. So finding number 1 was: there is no constant evaluation and research to allocate the needs and measure the impact. The data from the survey provided some broad level indicators of how the SEC is doing with respect to evaluate the programs and if the teachers get tangible results of it or not. The main goal for the SEC was to put the teachers under extensive program, but there is no follow-up and measure the impact of these programs. As we see here, almost 60% answered with no for the first question, and less than 40% answered with yes. 26 teachers who answered the first questionnaire, 15 of them said yes, no, and 10 said yes. So they agreed in general that SEC does not follow up upon completion of a program. That means 60% of teachers assure that the SEC is very weak in regarding to study the impact of the PD programs. How can the SEC ensure that their programs are effective and bringing expected results, or the programs may need some modifications and improvement unless they collect the needed information to design better for the next year programs? SEC brings international programs to develop teachers' performance. However, much more information about professional development is missing. For example, we know little about the context and from the professional development that teachers are engaged in. Are most of the opportunities for professional learning provided by external workshop, conferences, and courses, or do teachers have sustainable opportunities to work collaboratively with other teachers in their schools on local problems of practices? How can they get high quality professional development if they don't conduct researches and constant evaluation to better improvement? Let's move to the finding number two. The PD programs that the SEC conduct are generic. They listed, as we see here, um, they list the workshops and courses and impose them on teachers without a previous study whether this particular teacher needs this particular workshop or it's meaningless. The survey shows that 60% of the workshops is general and not helping in their teaching field. It covers a specific aspect of teachers' measures. So in the first year, teachers will be complete the generic one and will be needing more specialized courses. So they need to get professional development on the content that they teach. Otherwise, they will keep taking the same workshop for the next year just to fill the PDF file that each teacher has. So SEC need to work more on the type of the courses that they provide. Finding number three. Data reveal that there is a lack of high quality professional development to have a significant positive impact on instruction and student achievement. 73% answered that the programs that they receive from SEC was not helping them to develop their instructional skills and performance. Moreover, some of them say that some of the programs are repeated and they already took it before more than once. So the questions for number three was, does the policies and strategies related to professional development and instructional improvement help to achieve the goal and improve the teacher's performance, uh, teacher performance in general? So teachers agreed that it can help, but it needs more improvement. So 73 said yes, and there is other questions, other answers. So for example, they are repeated as we see in the second red row, and it's could be some obstacles for teachers to go and enroll in good workshops because it's mixed and female teachers prefer to have it separate. So it needs more working on. Finding number four. The previous general PD programs was useful for beginner teachers and improved their skills in how to design a lesson plan and use the technology and their instructions. 88 said that the beginning of PD professional development programs in general improved their performance and teaching methods. So yeah, it's useful, but SEC need to work more on it. As we see, more than 80 said yes, it's very helpful and they need more of it and more specific. 11% said no, and there is no other response. Let's move to the final questions, which is an open one questions. Teacher participation, and I found out that teacher participations is not encouraged by the SEC because I get a lot of answers and comments that teachers would like to have in the PD programs, but unfortunately no one is listening or taking their comments as a concern. So teachers don't have a word in designing the PD programs or have any chance to give recommendations. The percentage of teachers reporting not participation in professional development regarding many aspects is high. In the last questions, teachers reveal some issues that they wish they can have in the PD by SEC. Some mention that classroom environment and how to help the teachers in dealing with students from different groups according to his or her characteristic. Some wanted to be part of the PD designing, and we can see it here. 48 said they want to participate and have awards in the PD designing programs. As an example of the result here, one said that they would like to participate to add more about specific topics, and especially in how to dealing with the students and how to support teachers in dealing with that. Also, there was some specific answers regarding the subjects, and in general, I found out that teachers want to participate more in how to design professional development in how to deal with the students, and how to help them in achieve or scoring high. So that was the main findings. So I came up with four recommendations based on our analysis, and the recommendations are three recommendations. SEC should reshape their policies and strategies related to professional development and instructional improvement to reduce their investment in less effective short-term approaches, and to support teachers' engagement in the kinds of sustained professional development that research shows is more effective. Also, SEC should collect more data about the particular features of professional development that teachers are engaged in and view as usual, because only with this kind of research and data they will be able to improve their professional development strategies. Otherwise, it will be the same years over year over year over, it will not improve, or they will not reach a progress. Finally, SEC should allow teachers to participate in the professional development plan, and more research is needed to document the effectiveness of a particular features of professional development and their impact on instruction and student achievements. As a conclusion, professional development is the key concept for the success of a student's achievement in the transition of education era. Most of the research studies have revealed how professional development of teachers would contribute the impact on students' learning. Though expensive, it have a remarkable impact on teacher and students' learning. There should be continuous regular development of teachers from time to time, as they contribute the same to the students, which directly affects the quality of education. SEC conduct the PD or professional programs, and its prime responsibility is to evaluate and review them so that they would be more effective. From the survey, it is clearly noticed that there is no review process of the professional development program conducted by SEC. For any plan after it is implemented, it has to be reviewed so that it is easy to identify the strengths and weaknesses of the plan. Similarly, SEC also should give priority to the review process of the PD programs conducted already. This would help the access the progress of the activity, and recommends further actions that are required to achieve the given target or goal. The teachers should be given a chance to recommend the area they want to expertise, and to improve them. Finally, the program design ultimately should improve the instruction methodologies to bring the output of better students' performance and quality of a student's outcome. Thank you very much. I hope that covers the Answer the question whether the professional development in SEC is successful or need more improvement. Thank you.